Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to a very special stream. As always, just let me know if the audio is good, if you can hear me fine, if the mic is too loud, too soft. I always like to check these things up front because I don't do a lot of streams, so, things can always go wrong. But good evening. Hello, hello. Hi, everybody in the chat. How are you all doing today? Hope you're doing fine and having a fantastic day wherever you are listening or watching this from, and that you've had a great weekend. Hello, hello, Esmeralda 2003. Hello, hello, person 17. Hova 123. Terrell, hello. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. How are you all doing today? And how was your week? Hope the first half of 2024 has been treating you well. It's crazy to think that the half of 2024 is already gone. But that means we're closer to Avatar Fire and Ash. It's releasing next year and we're just over a couple of months, well, more than a couple of months. But yeah, it is great that in one sense, it's crazy to think that most of the year is gone, but also very excited about next year. Hey, just me, how are you doing today? How are you doing? Thank you for joining the chat. What's up, Nop Nop? How are you doing? So basically, this live stream is just, I like to do sometimes, like I said, I don't do a lot of live streams, but in this live stream, it's been a week. I've got a couple of minutes, I've got some time tonight, so I thought I might as well just jump on a live stream, talk about Avatar Fire and Ash. And it's been a week since the announcement of Fire and Ash, so, I thought now that some time has just gone by, we, have some time to thought about the title. Some people have said that the title has not yet grown on them. Some people have said they really love the title. I really like the title. It's quite, it's very different from what I expected it to be. It's very different from The Way of Water, and it's just, I love the logo itself. It's very striking. And one thing I said in one of my videos when I looked at the logo again is that I noticed, you can see, hopefully you can see the mouse icon. I noticed that there's a lot of scratches in the background. It looks like, if I zoom in here to the picture, it looks like a lot of scratches on metal if you look in there very carefully, which is interesting. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's indication of, I don't know, it could mean a lot of things. We only have concept art to go by, so hopefully soon we will get at least a synopsis of the movie, but I don't think we'll get much information this year. I do think that next year the marketing for this movie will start rolling out. We'll start getting a synopsis, maybe a few more art pieces at the beginning of the year, but I suspect around about April, May next year, we'll get our first teaser for Avatar Fire and Ash. You say it's 37 degrees. Where is that? Because that's quite warm. Right now it is quite cold. It is 12 degrees Celsius here in Norway. It is raining today, so it is quite a cozy evening, I would say. Joan Gali asking, did we get a tease like this for Way of Water? Yes, they did release some concept art and the title of the movie ahead of the first teaser. So I believe one of the first, if I remember correctly, one of the first concept arts we got was of the crab suit and some RDA stuff. But I vaguely remember that we got some RDA stuff, concept art, before the release of the first teaser. But yeah, we only got 4 concept arts, and I'm gonna look at that now. Going on to the first concept art, one of my favorite ones is this one, the one of the leader presumably leader of the Ash Clan, Vrang. And this is just a really terrifying yet interesting image. Yeah, Adam, like you said, what James Cameron said, it's not what you expect, but it's what you crave. That's a very, very, very interesting statement by James Cameron. So, yeah, that can mean many things. So, I don't know. I do wonder what the runtime of the movie will be. If it will be longer, or if it will be longer than The Way of Water or shorter. I said in my review for The Way of Water that it didn't feel like a very long movie. The time just flew by very quickly because you were just sucked into the world when the movie started, and you were just on this journey, and before you knew it, the movie was over. So I do wonder how long this movie will be. But going back onto this art piece, you know, what I said about these characters on the side here is that I get a very like Silent Hill vibe from it. So I wonder if we will ever see this in video game format. That would be interesting. On Frontiers of Pandora, I know we're getting one more DLC pack, but Ubisoft has not said anything about support after the DLC. They haven't said about any sequel or anything. I don't know if we're going to get any update for the game next year. I mean, it would make sense if they do one more story pack, say right before the release of this movie, because looking at some of their other games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Far Cry 6, they had the season pass content, the packs, 2 DLC packs with the season pass content, and then they did a full-on expansion afterwards. They did that for Valhalla and Far Cry 6. So I do wonder if they're going to do the same for Frontiers of Pandora. One can only hope. Yeah, Ender, you're saying, I'm trying to look at the chat and the art. So, Ender, you're saying that she's definitely wearing cues. Yeah, I was saying this, saying in my breakdown that this could be from other Navi, either warriors or her followers. Her followers cutting off their piece and then just giving it to her as a sign of loyalty in a way, because if they do cut it off, they cannot connect to anything on Pandora. They cannot connect to AWA at all. So by disconnecting themselves from AWA in that way, they can only, in quotes, connect to the leader. So that's one theory, but another theory is also that these are from fallen warriors. I don't know. Robbie, what's up? How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well, wherever you are watching this from, wherever you're listening this from. Candy Amy, I love you watching your videos. Thank you. Thank you for the positive comment. I appreciate it. I appreciate that you're taking the time out of your day, whatever you're doing, and just hanging out in the chat. I said at the beginning of the stream, I don't do a lot of live streams. I do want to do more. I just really busy during the day, work and everything's keeping me busy. So I don't get much time to do many live streams, but I do love doing them. Do love talking in the chat. I do love hanging out with everybody and just getting to know everybody a little bit better, you know. But as I was saying, that this could be cut from either warriors, fallen warriors, you know, like trophies, you know, like a hunter showing trophies kind of thing, or it could be the followers just cutting off their piece at the back and then just giving it to her. Because I don't see, of course this black thing is just the camera in front of the stage, but I don't see any of them. I only see their tail. That's about it. Of course these smaller pieces are from their mask, and like it looks like a it kind of reminds me, I don't know if you guys know the character, the Spider-Man villain, Kraven the Hunter. He has this big fur thing around his neck. Something like that. If it's like a piece around their neck that they wear, and then they wear the mask. So it kind of reminds me of that. But I don't see gurus anywhere. They're, you know, it just seems like it's either not in the concept. Maybe you know, maybe it is there. I'm just not seeing it in between all of this. But to me, it just looks like it's not there, and it's just interesting that I said. Interesting that I noted that she's the only one not wearing a mask, and I'm just wondering why. Why is everybody? Well, I don't know what's happening with this fella. He looks like he's wearing some sort of. He looks like he's wearing a face of I don't know. I want to say a face of another Navi because that's very disturbing. But like a face, it's like some sort of face on top of his face or something like that. That's what it reminds me of. But everybody's wearing a mask. Even this goat fella here in the corner, everybody's wearing a mask except her. So that's just interesting that she's the only one showing her face. Nobody else is. So, Nightfall, you're asking, so how do you think the Ash Clan will make their debut? Will we cut to Quaritch landing near their turf unintentionally, or will the Ash people attack the Metkayina, thus starting the adventure? That is a very interesting question. I've also thought to myself, how will they introduce the Ash Clan, the Ash people? And I mean, there's many ways, because I mean, how would you say Quaritch land there unintentionally? Because I was thinking, how would Quaritch know about them? Because he's still getting used to his recon body in a sense. He's still new to all of this. I don't know. Maybe the RDA is doing something. Maybe the RDA is drilling into the core of Pandora or something, doing some sort of experiment that sets off. Because it seems like, from what we understand, from what we know, the limited knowledge that we know about them, they're in a volcanic, in an ash region. So maybe the RDA is doing something that's, I don't know, disrupting the balance on Pandora, and I don't know, their volcanoes are just, I don't know, not, I don't want to say not functioning well, but just exploding all over and causing a bit of chaos, and then that causes them to kind of retaliate, and then I don't know, that's maybe the introduction. I'm not entirely sure, but that is a good theory, that Quaritch lands unintentionally in their turf and then realizes, you know, these Navi is not good, so he can use them to his advantage. And maybe there was a deleted scene in The Way of Water where it seems like General Ardmore and Quaritch is kind of not seeing eye to eye. So that makes me wonder if Quaritch and Ardmore is going to butt heads a little bit in the third one, and thus, you know, Quaritch is kind of joining them instead of going back to the RDA. Hampton, you're asking, is Quaritch going to join the Ash Clan? I don't think he's going to join them in the sense of how Jake joined the Metkayina, but it's more, I think he's going to try and use their power to his advantage, and then maybe at a certain point Spider gets involved in all of this and Spider gets put in danger, but the Ash Clan is just not really caring what they're doing. So then Quaritch realizes that this Ash Clan is kind of beyond his control, that they are, in a sense, more evil than he thought, and thus he's kind of, you know, realized that he's got to, I don't know, got to leave them, or there's a leaked script that I don't want to talk about. There's some not a leaked script, but some pieces of paper script that was leaked, and I don't want to talk about it now because I don't know how many people have seen it. I've made a video about it before, but I don't want to talk about it here just to avoid any potential spoilers for the movie. But yeah, you never know. What maybe Quaritch might see, you know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of thing. Kind of that kind of thing that we've seen in movies before, but maybe Quaritch has to put some differences aside for the greater good. Let's go to the comments here. Let's see what everybody's saying here. Hello, big fan of the channel. Thank you, Kira Pride. Thank you very much for hanging out here and appreciating. Over 30 of you hanging out on a Sunday evening, at least this evening here by me in Norway. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day and being here. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here, commenting, watching this, and just giving your thoughts on this. AB James, you're saying Parker Selfridge is returning, but how and why? The humans are no longer running Hell's Gate to mine unobtainium, which Selfridge was in charge of. That is also something I thought about, because he's going to be in the third Avatar movie from what we know. But I don't really know what his role is going to be. Is he going to join? Is he gonna come back as like demoted and has to work his way up again? It'd be funny if he gets his own avatar body, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm not sure what his role is gonna be. I have quite a few ideas, but yeah, maybe he's gonna come back and just work under Ardmore's ranks, and maybe also try and take revenge on Jake. I don't know. Let's see here. Hamter, please help me out. Hello, good evening. Hope you're doing well. Let's see what everybody's saying. So yeah, so like I said, this art piece is very, very interesting. It shows a very different side of not only Pandora but Navi as well. And like I said, looking at the background, it looks very rock-like. It looks like it's at a volcano area. I'm not entirely sure what this is at the back. It almost looks like it could be a wingspan of sorts. It could be one of the new flying creatures, but it also could be basically a roof of some sort where they're living. They could be, it could be a material with some sticks and some, I don't know what kind of material they would use there, but given the fact that they have all these twisted and kind of a strange way of designing things, this could be a roof of some sort here at the back. But it could, like I said, it could also be a flying creature. And this guy over here, this pyramid head looking character, is poking a creature on the floor here. Definitely looks like a viper wolf on the side. You can look at the head there, the shape there. Imagine looking at a viper wolf lying dead on the side and looking at his head from the top. Definitely looks like the shape. So I'm not sure if they're sacrificing them or maybe eating them. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe they're just having a good old barbecue here, and we're just taking it out of context. I don't know. I don't know. But it looks like a ritual to me, considering everybody's like dancing around the fire, and considering her look on her face. She's like in this trance mode here, celebrating something. I'm not entirely sure, but this is definitely an interesting art piece. I do wonder how this will translate to the movie, if we will see this in the movie at all. I mean, a lot of concept art gets not used for the movie, so we might not even see the scene in the movie, but it'll be interesting once we see the movie eventually, going back to this art piece and then seeing which parts of it did make it into the final version of the movie. But going on to the next art piece is this one here of the flying fortresses of whatever this is, and I'm guessing this is probably the Wind Traders or the Wind Clan, or the other clan that's going to be introduced in Avatar Fire and Ash. And yeah, there's not too much to say from here, from this image. I mean, you have Ikran there, and initially I think I said that these looked like Ikran, but looking at it again, looking at the wingspan, it could be an Ikran on its side, and then you have the rider over there, but it also looks like it has a longer wing. Like if you look at that, that's definitely an Ikran. If you look at that, it's definitely a little bit of a different shape, slightly different. Not entirely sure what it could be. That one there looks like it could be Ikran, but I'm not sure about that one. Could also be a new creature that's introduced in this movie. But these flying fortresses, these flying ships, definitely looks interesting. It's being pulled by that stingray kind of creature there in the front, and then it has that jellyfish-like tentacles at the back there. So it's going to be interesting to see if we get some sort of air battle, some sort of aerial battle. Candy Gaming, you say maybe that's Storm Glider. It could be. It could very well be a Storm Glider. Storm gliders were introduced in Frontiers of Pandora, and from what I remember, they do they are found very high in the sky, and they can fly very far. So maybe storm gliders are, I don't know, maybe they're neutral. So if you don't attack them, they won't attack you, kind of thing. But if you do push them, they will become hostile. So maybe it's a storm glider. It'll be interesting to see if we get some of the creatures from Frontiers of Pandora in Avatar: Fire and Ash. And then looking at this thing on the side here, which I wasn't sure what this is. I mean, it could be RDA, it could be just one of these spots here that wasn't intended to be there. It could be a new creature, it could be one of these ships just from a different angle. I'm not entirely sure what this is. It's too blurry. It's not. We haven't gotten high resolutions of these art pieces yet. Hopefully, we'll get them soon so we can have a better look. Jonas Hassan, you say there could be 2 people. Yeah, that is very true. There could be 2 people. Not too sure about that one. AB James, Pycan is also returning. Yeah, I haven't read about Pycan returning, but I mean, I'm pretty sure we'll see Pycan in the 3rd one because, yeah, I mean, he didn't die in the Way of Water. So, hey Dominic, how's your day going? How's your weekend been? Hope it's been good. And Nightfall, you're saying, I wonder how this Wintry plays into the story. Yeah, I'm also wondering how this will play into the story. Maybe Tonowari knows some people, and he's saying that, if they're going to go up against the RDA, they need all the help they can get. So the Metkayina can attack from the waters, so they need somebody to attack from the air. So they go to these Navi for help, to build an army, to assemble a team. Andre Oliveira is saying, so we'll see multiple clans in this one. Well, it's been confirmed that we'll see 2 new clans. One of them being the Ash clan, and one of them being the Wind Traders, which is presumably these, what these art pieces are from. We don't know the official, I mean, in layman's terms, we're just referring to them as the Ash clan and the Wind Traders, but I don't believe we've gotten the official name for these clans yet. So that should be interesting. It should be interesting how both of them tie in, if they have some sort of history, or, how it's going to be resolved at the end of the movie. AB James, Loak is confirmed to be narrating Fire and Ash, not Jake. That's a nice change as well. Yeah, I also heard that. So it should be interesting to hear how the movie is going to open. And I do wonder, though, because, I mean, both the first and the second movie ended with Jake at the end. So I do wonder if the 3rd movie is going to end with Loak instead of Jake. We'll have to wait and see on that one. Let's see here. Kiro Pride, definitely stunning artwork. I love all these artworks. They are fantastic looking, and I wish I was at D23 to see this in person. Maybe next year. Probably at D23 next year they will show some exclusive footage for Avatar: Fire and Ash. I know they did that for D23 in 2022. There was some footage shown. So if they're planning to do that, I definitely would love to go. But I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. Over 40 of you in the chat right now. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day. Whatever you are doing, and whatever you're going to do, I hope you have a good evening. But I have 2 more art pieces to look at. But yeah, just in the chat, I would love to know where everybody's from. Just let me know where you're from. Love to know where everybody's watching from right now. Nightfall, you're saying I'm worried for Norm. I'm remembering that one photo months back, with I presume to be him in a jumpsuit. Yeah, we don't know yet much about Norm in the third movie. I do think there's going to be a couple of deaths in the movie, and I do wonder if Norm is going to be one of them. So, I mean, there's no indication that he's going to die, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Sweden, Texas, California, New York. Fantastic, fantastic. People from all over the place. England, Canada, Argentina. In case you're wondering, I'm living in Norway, so... And it is almost 7:45 in the evening right now. Let's see what everybody's saying. Gamerbull, you say, I think Jake might die and Loak must take charge because Neytiri might have to take, might be taken to Earth in the 4 movie, and Loak must lead the clan on their side to fight the RDA and the Ash people. Interesting thought there, but I don't think Jake is gonna die. I don't think, this is my opinion, I don't think Jake or Neytiri is gonna die at all. I think they're making it through all 5 movies, to be honest. But I definitely do think that Loak is gonna take over. He's gonna take the mantle. Adam, you're saying I bet Parker comes back as a pro golfer. Yes, definitely. He's gonna come back and play some more golf. He's gonna play golf in an avatar body. I want to see that happen. Athena is saying if Jake dies, I'm not watching anymore. Yeah, but I don't think Jake is gonna die. I honestly don't think so. I highly doubt it. There were already talks. I believe James Cameron himself said something, hinted to something about Jake and Neytiri, which I don't want to mention here, just in case people have not heard that. I also made a video about that a while back, but yeah, I don't think Jake is gonna die. He might get really injured in this next movie, but I highly doubt he's gonna die. Yeah, Ender is saying it would be too predictable if Jake died. Yes, I agree. It would be way too predictable if Jake died. But moving on to the next art piece is this one here, which I speculated is Neytiri on her Ikran, next to one of those flying fortresses again. And I really love this shot because it's not only, I love seeing Pandora at night, but also it gives us the scale of these flying fortresses, and it also shows that it's being not only pulled like a balloon by these, or lifted by like a balloon by these jellyfish-like creatures or things, but it's also being pulled in the front by this stingray-like creatures. I'm just like naming random creatures because we don't know the official names for any of these things yet. This is the first real concept art that we got for Fire and Ash, so as time goes on we will probably get a bit more here and there. But these creatures are very interesting because it looks like if you look at this one here, it's tied to some sort of bar that's pulling this ship. So I don't know. I wonder how they lift off from the ground. Do these creatures, do they change and just float? Do they just float in the air? Or do they actually land like an Ikran? Do they have legs that, we don't see the legs here because of the artwork, because it's very dark, but do they actually have some sort of legs here that just, I don't know, fold outwards when they come to the ground? And then these poles or these things at the back here that's pulling the ship, is this tied to them like a saddle? Do the Navi have to saddle them up basically? Like, you know, when you're gonna fly an Ikran, you put a harness and you know, put a saddle on so it's more comfortable. Do they do something like that here, where you prepare it for flights. Just really curious, really interesting design, very, very interesting design. So I'm curious how this is going to look in live action format. We can see one here, we can see one there. It seems like one's there, and then I said there's an Ikran, looks like an Ikran flying right there. I didn't see anyone else. Didn't see anything else. But again, hopefully we will get some high-res images of these artworks soon. Then we can see a little bit better, because it was very dark and very blurry, so I just tried to enhance it as much as possible and kind of like stick it together like a puzzle, so you can see the whole image, which makes it a bit better. Yeah, you can see a bit better if you stick it together. Try and like correct the photo a little bit. Alright, let's jump back into the comments. Hamter, you're saying similar to the Cloud Forest. Yeah, and Ender, you're saying the wind traders are going to be nomadic. So this is probably their mobile homes. Yes, that's what I was thinking as well. They're moving constantly from place to place. Caravan people. Yeah. Thanasis, you're saying caravan people. Yeah, something to that extent. This is their homes, and they're living here. That's what I'm guessing. Because if you look closely here, I don't know how big these are. I don't know. So I don't know how close these are to the Ikran here. They might be far away, might be very close. I'm guessing they're far away, but they are quite sizable. And if you look closely here, but also notice it looks like there's some sort of fire going inside. So, you know, there's probably a couple of Navi living in here, and they're set up fire here. And then this is like almost like a see-through material that you can see, not entirely see-through, but you can see the light behind it. So people are living inside here, living inside there. So I do wonder how big these will be, and I do wonder if they have some sort of defensive capabilities. Because what if the RDA attacks, or what if the Ash Clan attacks them? What are they going to do to defend themselves? Do these creatures in the front, can they fight back? Do these jellyfish things, do they have any sort of I don't know, these tentacles running down the back? Can they act like a whip and just like, you know, electrocute somebody? You know, I don't know. And like a jellyfish, basically. Can they burn and harm something or somebody? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Let's see what everybody says. Butcherbird, you're asking, what do I think of the theory of another company coming to Pandora? I don't think... I think if you introduce another company, then it'll be too much. If by any means another company does come to Pandora, then we will likely hear about it in the 4th or 5th movie. It will definitely not I don't think it'll happen in the 3rd movie. That'll be too soon. You know, it could be down the line where the RDA becomes too, I don't know, corrupt in some way, and then another peaceful company kind of comes in, and you'd be like, no, this is not the way humans should be portrayed, or something. I don't know. Maybe that, but again, if that happens, it'll be probably be in the 4th or definitely 5th movie, but I don't think that'll happen anytime soon. Alright, so let's move on to the final art piece. And definitely one of my most interesting ones is this one here. One thing I noticed looking at this again is that the headpiece looks slightly different than the one from the ritual. So if we go back here, look at this headpiece, see that one there, and then you look at this headpiece. It looks a little bit different, but it might just be the artwork. But I can imagine that Varang has different headpieces for, I wouldn't say different events, but she has like a different headpieces. One to strike in fear of her enemies. One to is more like a, you know, a ritual. When they have a ritual, she puts on a different one. That's a possibility, but yeah, looks slightly different, but it might just be the art that's drawn at a different angle, so it looks different, but it's actually the same. I don't know. But this creature, definitely an interesting one. I don't know what it is or what family it's from. I do know that it's much bigger. It looks much bigger than Ikran. And looking at the back, like I said in my breakdown video of this art piece, looking at the back, it does not really look like anybody else is flying one of these. Maybe there at the very back you might see one or two that doesn't really look like an Ikran, but most of these looks like Ikrans. You can clearly see there they have the same wingspan as an Ikran. Have the same look, except this one. So I do wonder if this is unique. This is considering she's like a Hamter, you're saying maybe Turk family. Yes, that's what I was thinking. Like maybe it's not necessarily family, but similar idea. You know, there's only one of them, and the leader tamed this creature, so she's controlling it, which makes me wonder if her followers does not have kurus, if that's cut off by giving it to her, then I do wonder how, if they're flying on the Ikrans, how they're controlling it. But then again, looking at this image, looking at the ones riding the Ikrans, it does look more like recoms. It just the silhouette looks more like recoms, and they have weapons. Each Ikran with a I would say character on it looks like a recom because of the hairstyle, and it has a weapon. So that makes me wonder, does she essentially control the Ikrans through this? Like, you know, so similarly to what happened in the first Avatar movie at the Battle of the Hallelujah Mountains, where there were just Ikrans helping Jake that didn't have Navi on them. Is it a case of that, where she controls the Ikrans of this region, so they don't need riders at all? That's an interesting theory, but I don't know, because like I said, it doesn't look like any of them has really riders on them. It doesn't look like any of these Ikrans has riders on them. The only ones that does look like they have riders on them are these ones, who looks like recoms with weapons. So then it makes sense that her followers does not have kurus, because they cannot connect to the Ikrans. Then it makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. Looks like Lal. Yeah, it does. It certainly does. Lightning Chase is saying related to storm gliders. Maybe this is related to storm gliders. Who knows? It will really be interesting if the storm gliders are introduced in Avatar Fire and Ash. Let's see if there's anything else that I noticed that I didn't see before. No, nothing particular that I can think of. Let's go back to the comments here. Yeah, Joan Gull, you're saying she controls the alpha, she controls all of them. That's what I'm thinking. So the Ikrans doesn't need riders. They can just they just follow her, basically. Hibiscus, you're saying I'm afraid something will happen to Norm. Yeah, I'm thinking something will happen to Norm as well, but we don't know anything, so we'll have to wait and see until we at least see the first teaser to get an idea of what might happen. over 50 of you right here. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining, taking the time out of your day, being here, just chatting some Avatar with me, talking about speculations and theories. I really appreciate that you take the time out of the day, whatever you were doing, wherever you are right now. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. This was a very unplanned stream. I just had some time in the evening and just thought, you know, why not do a quick live stream, hop online and just talk about some of these concept arts. Don't do a lot of live streams, want to do them more, but just work and everything just keeping me very busy at the moment. So I will definitely do my best to find more time to do live streams. I've actually been wanting to get back to one specific live stream that I did before, and that was playing Skyrim as an avatar, because there's a mod where you can play as an avatar. And recently I installed over 1,000 mods in Skyrim, believe it or not, and it's actually working. So it'll be interesting to play that with the 1,000 mods with an avatar. Maybe I'll do a playthrough of that. Then won't be a live stream. But if you want to see that, then let me know. Then I'll make a video series of that. Should be fun to play through, because I don't think we're gonna get a lot of Avatar news until next year. Maybe at the most we'll probably get these concept art pieces at a higher quality later on. But that's pretty much all I can imagine that we'll get for Avatar Fire and Ash this year. At most, maybe on the date of, you know, December 19th this year, when it's officially 1 year from the release of Avatar Fire and Ash. Maybe we might get a synopsis, like an official, just a synopsis of the movie. But yeah, I don't think we're gonna get a teaser or any trailer for this movie this year. At earliest, probably around April next year. So my speculation is around about April, May, we will get our first teaser, which might be like a minute and 30 seconds, and then probably shortly before D23, so July, we might get a full trailer, and then at D23, they'll probably really start pushing the marketing for this movie. So we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm really curious to hear the music for this movie as well. And I just want to see what this movie is going to be like. I just want to see the Ash Clan. I just want to know what they're officially called, and I just want to know what's happening with these characters. You know, what's up with these masks? How did they design them? Why did they design them? Why is everybody wearing masks except her? And what's up with this guy? I want to know what's up with this guy. Why does he look like he's wearing a face on top of his face? It really looks like it. You can see there by the eyes. It almost looks like, it kind of reminds me of I don't know, a very old movie. I don't know if anybody knows it, Jeepers Creepers, where the thing like wears people's skin. It kind of reminds me of that. But yeah, it looks like this person or Navi is wearing a mask of a face on top of their face. So you can see there, like I said, it looks like by the eyes, it looks like it's cut out. And it looks like at the back, they're just using materials. It looks almost like nails or something, but it looks like materials that they're just wrapping the face around their face and just tying it to the back with something. And then at the front there, it looks like the mask is almost, or the skin has ripped loose. So you kind of see their jaw and their eyes a little bit, but the rest is just flesh of another Navi on top of theirs. But yeah, that would be very disturbing if that's the case. But yeah, that's just the impression that I get, you know, of this mask at least. And this one just looks like a wooden basket cage on top of this character. This one here looks like he's wearing some sort of a goat creature equivalent on top of his head, on top of their head. And then let's go over to this one. I'm not I don't know what this is made of. It looks almost like an insect of some sort, if you look at it. And then this one here is some sort of bag with, I don't know what's happening here. I don't know, that hole there is kind of disturbing. And then this pyramid head from Silent Hill looking like a person or Navi is also wearing a strange mask on top of theirs. And then I can't really see the mask behind, but you can see this Navi has a knife, holding a knife, also wearing some sort of mask. And then this person as well, this Navi is also wearing some sort of mask. It'll be interesting if Jake or Quaritch uses Crispy is saying Avatar but horror. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You're asking, you're late. What did you miss? Anything? I was just going through the Crispy. I'm just going through the artwork that was revealed, and I was just discussing, basically going over the theories I already talked about and discussing a few new things. Nothing specific, nothing too much, but you can always go back and watch this if you, or listen to this if you want to. But thank you for taking the time out of your day and hanging out in the chat. What I was gonna say, I completely forgot now. Trying to remember what I was gonna say now. Oh, right, about Jake and Quaritch. It would be interesting if Jake and Quaritch tries to infiltrate this camp by wearing a mask on their head. Because we've seen that art piece or that image that was shared when it was announced that Avatar 3 was delayed, where you see what looks to be Kiri crying, and it looks like she almost has this paint on her. I want to see if I can find it. Just give me 1 second here. I want to see if I can find it. Where is that image? It was like an image which looks like at the beach. I don't know where I saw that image. Let's see if I can just open the image itself. Ah, here it is. I was trying to zoom in onto the image quickly before putting it on screen. Let's see here. Just give me 1 second. This image that I was talking about, that was shared when they announced the delay of Avatar 3, 4, and 5. It looks like, of course, that definitely looks like Jake, but there it looks like Kiri crying, but if you look, and that person at the back there, it looks like Spider, but if you look at the symbol on her chest, you can see there it's the upside down triangle, and she has the red paint on her arms. And then going back to this, let's go back to this image. You can see the red paint, and they also have the triangle there. You can't see the triangle that well, but you can see the redness, but that doesn't look like an arm guard, but also the redness on their arms. And then if you go to this image, let's use this guy for example. You can see the same kind of looking, has the same look to it. Not like a one-to-one, but if you compare this to this, you can see it looks similar. Of course, this is concept art, and this is not the final render, so a lot can change. And yeah, so I do wonder, for some reason it looks like Chester. Crispy is saying it's a theory that her arm gets cut off. Her arm, where? I don't see her arm gets cut off, because you can clearly see the one arm on the right side, and then the left arm is going to the face, because the face is going down looking crying. I don't know how her arm would be cut off. I mean, it's interesting theory, I guess, but there's no indication based on this image that her arm is cut off. If that's an indication, I mean, if her arm was going to be cut off, then this 3D model would not have had both arms, if that makes sense, because that doesn't make sense. So it just more looks to me like body paint on the arms, on the chest, and yeah, it looks like Spider is lost. It looks like Spider is just, if this is Spider, it just looks like he's standing there looking out in the distance. It looks like he has some sort of prison outfit or something. Given the fact that Jake is trying to comfort Kiri, who's crying, and Jake looks lost. Not Jake. Spider looks out in the ocean. Looks kind of like they just got bad news. So I don't know if this is after a very sad scene. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe this is right after. Maybe Norm dies, and this is right after. I don't know. A lot of theories, and I don't know who that person is behind Jake. That is also still unknown. Also, this is it looks like an Ikran at first, but also the head looks a bit different. So I don't know, 100% sure if this is Ikran, but yeah, this image the initial reason why I went to this image, because their paint just looked a lot like the paint on Kiri's chest, the upside down triangle, the arms that's painted, same kind of vibe. So maybe they infiltrated the Ash clan, and then somebody had to help them out, and whoever helped them, whoever got them out of there, maybe died in the process, got killed in the process, and they are crying because of that person that sacrificed themselves to save the Sully family. Maybe that's the situation. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, Hibiscus asking, what about the guy in the background? I don't know. I don't know who that is. I'm not sure. Just give me 1 second here. I mean, it could be Max. This could be, if that's, I mean, I don't know. It definitely is not a Navi. Maybe it's Max. I don't know. Maybe the person is has to wear face masks, a breathing mask. So it could be Max. It could be, on the theories, Hibiscus is saying, please not be Norm. Looking at this again, on the theory of Norm dying in the third movie, just picture this for a second. They infiltrate the Ash clan because Spider, who's wearing this prison outfit, got captured, right? So they infiltrate the Ash clan to save Spider. Thus, Kiri looks like one of the Ash clan people with the paint and everything. But in the process, they got caught out. So, it's, they got caught out, so they need to escape. And the person to help them escape is Norm. And in the process of getting them out of there, Norm dies. And thus, Kiri is crying because of Norm. Spider, who was very close to Norm, is looking out in the distance. He's, of course, very sad. And then that could be Max looking over. I don't know what's happening there, but maybe that's somebody else crying or somebody else being sad, and Max is just like, trying to comfort them. Maybe even that could be Norm's body. and Max is like kneeling over his body, trying to, realizing that Norm just died. And then because Jake is not wearing the same kind of paint, maybe Kiri was the one, because you have to. Okay, so I have too many thoughts going through my head right now. So let's take a few steps back. So here's what I'm picturing. Spider, Quaritch joins the Ash Clan. Spider gets captured by the Ash Clan. Then Kiri, who is very close to Spider, wants to rescue Spider, but Kiri goes in against Jake's wishes. Thus, we see Kiri in this paint and everything, but we don't see Jake. Jake is not covered in paint. Thus, Jake didn't go along, or he didn't even agree with this, but Kiri went behind his back to try and save Spider. And in the process, she gets caught out. So now she's in this predicament. She doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know how to get out. But luckily, Norm comes around, saving both of them, saving Spider and Kiri. But in the process, he either gets injured or something bad happens to him, and he unfortunately dies. And when they land by what looks to be at the beach, they land with the Ikran. Norm is there. He dies. Kiri cries. Spider looks out in the distance. He's of course very sad because one of his best friends just died. And Max is there as well, over Norm's body. Of course, they were very close. And then Jake is telling Kiri, don't blame yourself for it. It's not your fault. You didn't ask Norm to save you. You were just trying to help Spider. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing right now. That's the scene I'm seeing. But again, that is just a theory. So if this does happen in the movie and you say I spoiled it for you, don't say I spoiled it for you, because that's just a theory. That's just speculating. But that is an interesting theory nonetheless. John Wong, you're saying Norm probably gets killed by the Ash people while trying to help them escape. Yes, that's what I'm thinking could happen. That is what I'm thinking. So that's an interesting thought, interesting theory. Definitely, maybe I'll make a video on that. That's not a bad idea, trying to put pieces together. But I do think there's going to be characters dying in the third movie, and it just makes sense that if they kill off somebody like Norm, I don't think they'll kill off a member of the Sully family again. It would be a rehash of The Way of Water, and it'll be too, in quotes, predictable. So killing off somebody like Norm, who is a fan favorite, makes sense. If Norm dies in the process. But yeah, that is what I'm seeing from this photo. But going back to the artwork, and then this is them celebrating afterwards. I don't know. No, I just think this is a ritual of them showing how crazy they are. But yeah, we have about 1.5 years to wait until the release of the movie. It is not too long now. I mean, it's in between that feeling of, it feels like The Way of Water released just yesterday, but at the same time it feels like such a long time ago. And now it feels like it's such a long wait until Avatar Fire and Ash, but at the same time it's not. So we're in that middle period of things are starting to happen now. Like I said in the beginning of the stream, I don't think we will get any marketing for Avatar Fire and Ash this year. At most, maybe high resolution images of these art pieces, and maybe a synopsis of the movie, like a proper synopsis. But yeah, marketing will only happen next year. Trailer, teaser probably around April, May. Full trailer probably July. And then at D23 next year, they will probably show a bit more exclusive footage. And then from there on, it will be full steam ahead with the marketing on this movie. And then December 19th, 2025, we will see this movie. We will all see this movie. So that's going to be exciting. Very, very exciting. I'll be watching it of course, in Norway. It'll be in the middle of winter, so I will be dressed really warmly because it's very cold in winter in Norway. But I've been chatting for an hour now. I have a couple of things that I need to get to. But I want to thank everybody for joining me in this quick chat. Just this random live stream of just talking about Avatar Fire and Ash. It's been a week. It's been a week since the movie not the movie. Sorry, it's been a week since the announcement of the title. Since we've seen these concept arts, so we've had some time just to digest, just to think about it, to think about how we feel about the title. I've seen some people comment that the title is still growing on them, so it'll be a while before we know what Avatar 4 and 5 is going to be called. But at least we have the title for Avatar 3. And hopefully we will get some more content for Frontiers of Pandora leading up to the release of this movie. But otherwise, we'll probably, around this movie, we will get a lot of... it'll be interesting if we get a comic book based on Verhang. I would love to see that. Maybe get some backstory on her before the release of the movie. That would be very, very interesting. Sorry, I have a cough coming up, so I do apologize. It'll be interesting if we get a comic book of Verhang before the movie. But yeah, we'll probably get some Legos. We will get... I would love to see a hot toy figure of Verhang as well. That would be pretty awesome. But we don't really know what her design is going to be like in the movie. We only have concept art, so hopefully we will get a movie still sometime soon. But again, thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. I appreciate so much that you took the time out of your day. Took the time out of your day for whatever you were doing, that you were just hanging out here. I really appreciate that you take the time to be here in the chat, in the comments, talking about Avatar, just giving your thoughts. I tried to go through all of the comments. Dominic, you're saying face reveal. Maybe some point. Right now I'm sitting in a hoodie. My hair is a mess, so maybe a face reveal at some point. Maybe I will do it at 50k. I was thinking maybe at 50k I'll do if I do get to 50k subscribers, I will do a face reveal. But Crispy is saying Stingbat evolved. That's also an interesting theory. It has a design, somewhat of a design of a Stingbat. Is it the evolution of the Stingbat? Is it a upgrade of the Stingbat? It definitely takes inspiration from the Stingbat, but I would love to. It would be interesting to talk to the concept artists and just pick their brain on how they came up with this. What made them design it like this? So yeah, that should be very, very interesting. But thank you everybody for joining this chat. I hope you have a wonderful evening. And after saying just do the face reveal. I'm not set up right now for a face reveal at all. Even if I wanted to do one right now, the lighting is terrible where I'm sitting, and and I recently moved to a new city. So behind me in this office is a lot of boxes just piled up, because I still have to unpack a lot of things. It's been a busy month for me. Moved to a new city, new location, new job, a lot of new things. So it's been a busy month. But maybe at 50, if I'm fortunate to get to 50,000 subscribers, I'll do a face reveal. We'll have to wait and see. But again, thank you so much for joining this live stream. I appreciate that everybody's hanging out here, taking the time out of your day. Appreciate it. And I have a couple of videos that will coming out this week. And I will definitely look into doing that playthrough of Skyrim with over 1,000 mods, playing as an avatar. That should be very, very interesting. But again, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening wherever you are watching from, wherever you're listening from. Be safe and have a fantastic Sunday. Until next time, thank you for watching.